Yo, what's going on, gamers? Today we're going to be going over train, all the movement tech on it, some spots, and just overall routes for the map. So yeah, before I get into all of that, I just want to thank the sponsor of this video, CSGO. So starting with the team that I think has the best chance at going for movement on train, I'm gonna pick CT side, and that's just because of the way that the map plays out. So when you spawn on CT, if you run up through B, through connector to A, you have this big open area here which has a lot of movement potential to it. And with the map flow, a lot of T's are going to be funneling out here, and if they're not there, they're going to be running up here over to B or through Ivy right here. So this area right here, you're going to be here as a CT with control over this area, simultaneously at a clash with the T's if they really are funneling out here. But this area in general, you're going to have access to first, and it's probably the best area in the game for movement. All right, so starting with A site is basically this train right here. It's completely flat around the outside, and you can edge bug the entire edge of this thing except for this little lip here, as this is a ramp for some reason. And with one of the updates they did to CS2, you actually don't get momentum off of B-hopping off of a ramp, which I think is a bit of a bummer, as having more momentum B-hopping off that would be kind of cool, but it is what it is. So you can edge bug all the corners here, which is pretty cool. And there's also these little multi-platforms, so you can crouch up to here and then do some B-hops, or you can just do like a standing B-hop like this onto the top. So that's pretty cool. And there's also this box right here by connector, and you can string some hops and then crouch hop through it, kind of like a vent hop, which I think is pretty cool because T's do play here when they sit on B, so you can actually hit a nice little clip here. I've hit this before, and yeah. So you can also jump bug this. I'm not even going to try and show a clip because it is a little bit complicated. So yeah, you got the jump bug to vent hop, and you also just have a regular old jump to vent hop. You can do like 2 hops on top of that thing, so that's pretty damn cool. Another interesting thing about A site is this little generator in the middle of site. If you get a teammate to crouch right here or just on the side of this thing, they can boost you up on top of here and you can be up here. You can go for like a jumping RNG or something of the sorts, or maybe just go for like an edge bug off the side of the train. And there's also a surf right here on this little knob on the side. You can also head bonk under it like that. But yeah, so this generator does have some stuff to it. As you can see, you get like a little mini surf off of it, and you can stand on top, which is kind of cool. There are 2 other jumpable trains in this outside area. You have this yellow train right here, which is okay. You have a ladder that goes up to it. And you also have this red train here, and this one is the highlight train of this area. And the reason that is because if you B-hop from this train over to here, let me just give that another go here. Like so, you can actually get on a surf on both sides of this train, which is just so satisfying and allows for some really cool clips. You can also wall bang all these windows in this wall, and it is a common place for T's to be if they're going towards B. So you can wall bang that, or in Pop Dog here, you can maybe B-hop through here and catch someone here. But this surfable train is really cool, and there's a lot of fun stuff you can do with it. Another way to get into the surf on red train is through a little ladder strafe. It looks like this, and you can also do it from both sides and on both sides of the surf. So really there's a lot of freedom you can have with this train. From the top of red train, you can hit this jump bug right here, which is going to put you up on top of these boxes right here. This is just a nice little spot, as people can come from Ivy or here or Pop Dog, so it can create a nice little route to go for. Another way to get on top of this box is just through a straight LJ. You can do a long jump like this, and you can also get up on top of this electrical box like this, rather from the red train here. A weird thing about train is that the ladders don't really function like every other ladder in the game. They have these little lips on the bottom, which basically you can jump on and then jump on the ladder. I don't really know why they chose to do this design-wise. It just doesn't really feel very good, but keep that in mind when you're going for ladder strafes, as you can't just walk into most of the ladders. You have to jump onto the ladder and then go for the strafe at the top of the ladder. Once again, just like that middle area from CT spawn, you're actually really close to B, which furthers the reasoning I say that I feel like CT is the prominent side for movement on this map. Starting off on the left side of B, you have this ladder right here, which takes you up onto this platform, and if you B-hop across, you can get into the T side of B, which takes you up into the initial area where T's have to go through to come down into B. This brownish red train is also surfable. As you can see, it's kind of got this cylindrical shape. It's really hard to get a perfect surf all the way across it, but it is surfable. The surf is just very steep, and to stay on it is pretty hard. but it is a surfable train, and you can do whatever you want with this. So you can ladder strafe off into a surf, or you can Bhop into a surf or whatever. So this whole train is also surfable. If you've been watching my videos, I hit a clip in this area. I'm hoping Valve fixes this, and maybe they do by the time this video is public, but I highly doubt it. This area right here, you used to be able to crouch and get a perfect little surf in this cubby. Oh, no way. Guys, I just jinxed myself. You can still do that. So basically, you just jump and crouch and hold right in this corner. See, that's what normally happens, but as you can see, you can get it perfect. You just strafe this corner and then hold towards this wall right here, and then crouch, and you'll get stuck in a little surf right there, and you can come out of it. And you can also edge bug this ledge coming out of that. But yeah, so that surf is still doable. It's just a little bit finicky as you get caught a lot for some reason. If it isn't already relevant about this map, understanding ladders is very important. So if you don't really understand how to use ladders correctly, I actually have a full guide on my channel. Yeah, I just think learning ladders is so important to being good at movement on this map. The center of B is kind of dipped down lower than the outsides, and once again, this just allows for edge bugs. You can edge bug this whole thing right here as well as over here, and believe it or not, you can actually edge bug this little piece of metal that goes along here. Once again, more edge bug, edge bug. Like, there's just a lot of little lips on the map that you can edge bug, which is always just a nice touch for the people that want to go for that type of thing. This train right here that has this quad cylinder on it also has a ladder on the back of it, which you can come up and strafe off of like this, which from there you can either go into con and start B-hopping, or you can do this, which I find myself doing a lot, or you can do this little route, which I find myself doing quite often. You can get up on this train like this by B-hopping off of one of these things through the ladder strafe. And you can actually keep B-hopping all the way over to that blue train. It's just really hard as you have to hit like a perfect hop off the very end of this. But it's pretty cool. B-site, you can basically never touch the ground, which I think is really awesome. You can B-hop from here to here onto this thing like this. Ideally, you'd B-hop over to this train, and then with good strafes, you can actually get up over here. So you have a lot of verticality on this site, and you can keep yourself elevated off the ground, which I think is pretty damn cool. From this heaven area on B, you can also make it all the way to the other side without ever touching the ground. It looks a little something like this. And now you're here, and you can go into con. You can also B-hop all the way along and then hit the edge bug off of that thing, which I was talking about, and I'll show right now. The two sites are basically the main areas where you're going to see a lot of the movement, but there are little spots around the map, such as up in this little office. You have this kind of little KZ area here. You have this little ramp up to this, and you can do like a crouch hop and just kind of mess around in this area. So I think this area overall is also just kind of cool. And considering this whole wall is wall bangable, you can hit some crazy ass shots through this window. As well as over in this area, once again, you have just kind of like a little KZ area where you can do just like some random stuff. But yeah, these are like the two little main areas outside of the site that I would say have like the best movement. And also staying in this similar area right here. If you walk out of this window and strafe to the right, you can edge bug this plank of wood and kind of come all the way down these stairs, which I think is pretty damn cool. The walk-off edge bug is easily doable with a knife or a pistol. I find it's a lot easier to do with a pistol out. So basically all you want to do is kind of just strafe to the right and then to the left, and you're just aiming for that plank of wood that's lifted off the ground there. Coming out of T-spawn on train, if you have two smokes, you can get up on this little pillar right here. It's pretty distinct because it has like more wearing on it. But if you stand on it and jump throw while looking at this light, and then looking over here at this little squiggle on the roof and jump throw here, you can do these two smokes right here. One's going to pop in Ivy and one's going to pop in Connector. And this will just help you with what I was talking about on CT side of just getting control over this area to get out here and just start going for some movement. From the T-spawn to A side, you can actually have access to this red train really fast, and you can go for whatever you want to go for from here. Also, considering naturally you're going to be facing this side of the map as a T, you can jump into a jump bug and land on A, and then you can come here and go for the vent hop off this box. So it's just kind of something to note. It's just like a stylish way of traversing past this whole area. You know, JB to here, maybe B hop, JB up to this thing, and then vent hop it or something would be pretty cool. So just kind of keep that in mind, I guess. You can also, if you're naturally facing this way, B hop to B hop, corner to corner, these trains. It's kind of hard, but there you go. And then you can maybe come down this area like this, and then you're behind the CTs and Ivy. So T-side also has some really cool stuff out in this area. And the one thing I will argue is that from T-side, you actually have the cooler facing way of this whole area. Like, since considering you're looking towards Ivy, the way that this whole area is laid out for a T is just a lot cooler than it would be for a CT. Once again, you have faster access to the JB off of the electrical box than you would on CT. Another little area out of T-spawn is this dumpster and yellow box. If you just kind of tap crouch twice while B hopping, you can get this little double hop off of this yellow dumpster and maybe RNG someone that's coming through there. So as you see, it looks a little something like that. And if a CT's pushing aggressive, you can like really catch him off guard, jumping up really high. And his crosshair just will be nowhere near you at all. Here is a bunch of not very known wallbang spots. I'm just gonna label them down below and let them play out. So that's going to wrap it up for train. My main takeaway is if you want to get good at this map, learn ladders and learn them really well, as they're pretty much mandatory. But yeah, overall train is a great map. It's got a cool atmosphere and it's up there for movement out of all the maps and matchmaking. I hope I taught you guys some cool new stuff, and I'll catch you guys in my next one. Peace out.